Hello everybody, this is Alex, also known as Solinus Dracon, of course, and with me as usual is Rambler81. Hello, Rambler.
Good day, everybody.
Hello. So, bit of backstory to things here. You've probably already seen my hiatus episode that came out on Monday, and, basically explains how I had a massive fuck-up in the last Spore recording, leaving the Ferengi cruiser ship up on there the whole goddamn time. And unfortunately, my save file, as we had recorded, actually, that was not the bulk of the episode, believe it or not. The bulk was just building it. So, I just pretty much cut out the part where I made the spaceship, and we're going to pick back up and redo the space stage. But, Alex, how are you going to do that after having saved your file? Well, glad you asked, because there is a bit of leniency to Spore that exists that maybe not everybody is well aware of, and that is that if you still have in your creature compendium here, in your Sporepedia, if you still have all the previous creations that you've ever made, then it saves the progress. It actually saves the progress of your species as it has gone, so you keep all the cards that you got, and you kept your entire history as far as things go. So I just basically destroyed a planet. I will show you how planet destruction works. You hit the delete button, you hit OK, and this is what happens. Yeah.
Well,
We just did that shit.
I was hoping it'd be more like a comet comes in there and just blows up the planet or something, but this works too.
Yeah, whatever works. And so that was just a little side for fun on my own time, making an herbivore species and taking that up to whatever stage. But when you start off on a new planet, and I'll just, kind of quickly indicate that, you can start at any stage of the game that you want, and as long as you're picking a species, like for instance, I will pick the Vegetableman, who is the species that I created, then it will keep the entire progress up to that point. You get to choose your military, economic, or religious status, and get to choose your vehicles and all that too, and even still name the planet. So that is a very good leniency that Spore throws in case you screw something up and have to start over. So since I did that, I just went ahead and redid Earth. Literally, the planet that originally was on was right about here. They were two exactly right next to each other, so I just picked one that was, right next to it. And there we go. I mean, it's not like it's all that different a portion of space. So, end of the Civ stage here. And I'm recording this one in OBS Studio, since I found out that OBS Studio actually lets you add in secondary audio input and output sources. So actually, I'm not needing to use this third-party ass application to record my Skype conversation with Rambler here. So it is pretty damn cool. Any comments, Rambler?
Nothing really immediately, sorry.
Okay. So this is Planet Earth the second, if you will, and I just got all the way to the end of the Civ stage. Pretty much did the exact same things, put in, I did a takeover of sorts, just kind of conquered the planet, and got all the spice geysers and got all my towns equipped with as high amount of security as possible, which is what you want to do before you head off into the space stage. So, let's go ahead and advance to space. And as you can see right here, the progression has remained economic and trader.
This automatically draws a straight line.
Beg your pardon?
This just automatically draws a straight line, or is this you're just able to keep it this way?
Well, this is the results of the civilization stage itself, because I started off as economic, and
Right.
I just did everything economically. I didn't employ any military or religious nations. I didn't keep any religious or military cities, and this is something that, I should make everybody aware of, is that, of course, in any version of the Civ stage that you play, any version of it, you have sort of a final win the stage kind of move. With the military folks, it's like, you send nukes out. With the religious folks, it's basically that you send out a massive message of peace and love, and everybody is enthralled by it. I guess it's a bit of mind control. And then with the economic folks, you do a global buyout, which just sends big old advertisement blimps to all corners of the globe, and they capitulate. Now, the problem with doing it that way which is a much faster way to do it, and all it costs is, depending on how many cities are left, it costs you a couple thousand Spore bucks. But the problem with doing it that way is that unless this is the only way this happens, okay? If you take a city, as you have seen, if you take a city, you can choose. You can choose to have that city remain as a religious or a military nation when you take it over normally, like through just through trading or by force or however it is that you're going. However, if you do that end-all be-all nuke the entire thing, then the problem is that every city stays what it was. And that's not really an acceptable sort of situation. I wanted all my cities to be economic cities because there is a different floor plan, a different layout for cities that are military versus economic versus religious. They have a different way of laying out the buildings, and so if it just didn't gel very well with me to have just done the entire buyout and keep all the cities on the planet either religious or military. I wanted them to be 100% economic. So I just played through the Civ stage by myself, I enjoy doing the Civ stage, it's fun for me. And this is about where we cut off after the spaceship design phase. So let's watch El Cutsceno.
Again, that lab just popping out of nowhere.
Exactly. And our
Look at the people standing there, Imagine what would have happened then.
Just it's irresponsible science is going on here, as you can tell.
There's a lot of irresponsible things going on here, I think.
Yep. So since we have already made the Ferengi Rue Blinger in a previous episode, this time we do not have the added annoyance of a massive picture on the upper left corner. We're just going to choose the Ferengi Rue Blinger.
Oh no, I thought it really brought the video together.
It was nice for the design portion of things, but unfortunately it's not so good for the rest of it. So, we're re-recording this part here, folks, and Rambler is probably not going to be as surprised as he was before, although I don't think he was all that surprised to begin with. But, I'm sure he's forgotten enough about it to still have some nice, fresh, dry commentary of his normal sort.
Quite dry. Although, are we going to go through the tutorial again, you think?
Yeah, we will do that, because that part didn't get uploaded. Liftoff! You've successfully developed a ship capable of spaceflight. The heavens beckon, the cosmos awaits, the universe is at your fingertips, if you can learn to fly this thing. So, let's name the captain. What do we have? I think it was Quarkjack before, right? Yeah, it was Quarkjack.
Yeah.
Quarkjack. So Captain Jack, Captain Quark. Anyways, another side benefit of using OBS Studio with the multiple audio input options is that I actually get to listen to the music in my headset. So this is going to be great for when I'm actually playing Undertale and shit. It's going to be magnificent. Don't you think, Rambler?
I think so.
Absolutely. So, Space Stage begins, and already we see that there is a different interface, and we will get into a lot of what do these things go or do as we go. But first mechanic to be aware of is that right now your communication thing is blinking. And it looks like the Skype conversation got broken off. And Rambler seems to have gone completely offline. Oh boy. Alright, well, we'll just have to skip to when he comes back. Okay, technical difficulties, folks. Rambler had a little bit of an audio, or not really audio, he had a complete blackout of the entire thingamajiggies. So, waited for him to come back. Welcome back, Rambler.
Yeah, did I miss a whole lot?
Not really, I was just sitting here waiting for your ass to come back.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm still waiting for a screen share.
Oh yeah, that's right. Let me go ahead and get that shit started. Hang on. Share window, and there we go. Alright, so I was saying, yeah, the benefit of using OBS Studio with the secondary audio capture is that I don't need the extra software to record our conversation here. Now, actually another thing that I discovered is that microphone muting is built in, really, to OBS Studio, and I can just set whatever hotkey I want for that, so while it doesn't do anything for the Skype conversation, although I could actually do something to the Skype window to change that. The point is that I think I can use OBS Studio 100% completely for the purposes of everything I'm trying to do here, and Skype is just for screen sharing when I want to do it with friends. So, This is going to help out quite a bit. So then, as I was saying before, power rudely interrupted situations here, in this interface here, when your little thingy is blinking and you can hear the little bleep, bleep, bleep in the background, that means that the world that you're over has something to say to you. So let's talk. I'm just listening to this guy talk. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't hear it now.
Nah, he sounds really weird. Congratulations, Cadet, you've got a fine ride there. We're all still adding new equipment to your ship, but we should have it ready for space travel in no time. Have you flown a spaceship before? No? Well, nothing like a test flight while the entire population of Ferengi of planet Earth looks on. What do you say, ready to earn your captain's badge? Normally I'd skip this shit, but, you know, we're doing this for the sake of fun, so okay, I'm in. Yeah, this guy's just speaking gibberish. Basically, Sporese. It's kind of like Simlish. You know, this is Maxis we're talking about here, so they just make up languages. Really, the military guys are fun as fuck. Just, you know, it's just hilarious to listen to the military guys talking Squablo to Complash and shit like that. It's pretty damn amusing. So anyways, that's the spirit. Each city on planet Earth has launched a giant orb in celebration of our first spaceship. Really, you can't miss them. Take your ship on a spin around the planet to 7 of our cities. Fly through the orbs to break them. Once you have finished, we'll give you further instructions. Good luck and try not to scratch the paint. I'll be back soon.
No promises.
No promises indeed. So here's a, I suppose, this is a small bit of just heads-up announcement kind of thing, is that I'm going to be taking the recording schedule at a more relaxed pace here. Oh, look at our dirigible investments flying by. That's cute. So I'm going to be taking things at a more relaxed pace. You know, I felt like I was up to the task of recording today, and, you know, thought I would want to rectify a mistake that was made, and so we're using this recording not only to test how OBS Studio works, which so far has proven to be okay, but also just to finish up some loose ends there. So I'm not beginning my aggressive everyday recording schedule again. I'm just taking a moment to, you know, finish up an episode, test some software, and just get back into things at my own pace. So it's not like it's going to be completely dead water. I'm hoping everybody watched my Lay's chip tasting episode on Tuesday, which, you know, is in the future from our current perspective, because this is on Monday that we're recording this. But, yeah, I hope that everybody caught that, and if everybody enjoyed it, I might try to do more stuff, trying other different things. So, anyhow, mission number 1 is we've just got to fly through these orbs. And we'll try to make a better showing of it than the first time I did it, with Rambler in tow. Oops, just scraped the building. And I came in at the wrong...
That promise is broken then, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I never made a promise. I just said, let's see if I can do this. Just gotta fly through enough orbs to satisfy the Ferengi citizens. This is a momentous occasion for our species. We have made, you know, space travel capable. So let's see what the command wants. Okay. Good job, Cadet. With flying like that, you'll make captain in no time. So what do you want me to do next? Now that you're an ace at flying, we're ready for you to use some of the sophisticated tools we've invented for your spaceship. We've been working on the ability to scan the plants and animals you discover on your travels. Looks like this tool comes just in the nick of time. The Sporepedia record of one of our own animals recently became corrupted at the same time the animal started exhibiting some odd symptoms. We'll need you to scan the animal so we can collect more information about this species. I am in. The creature in question is exhibiting an odd glowing trail. Your ship has been equipped with a radar tool that can be turned off and on in the main tools panel. It will point to mission targets and items of interest when on a planet's surface. The radar beeps faster when you're closer to your target. Select the scan tool from your main tools panel. Be back soon. So, main tools panel right here. Scanner is, or radar is on by default. You can turn it off, but there's not really ever a reason to turn it off. So just, you know, keep it on. It'll point you to where you need to go. So first things first, it says that there is an infected species. Just a quick burst of the scanner. And it's one of my old Ferengi roos from the creature stage.
He's not wearing a beard!
He is not wearing anything. So, I've already scanned the new species here. Let me scan the exact particular one that they want me to scan. No, the thing's already beeping, so I guess I've met my prerequisites. Excellent! Our scientists are eager to analyze the data. So what do you want me to do next? Gadzooks! The information you collected by scanning was quite valuable. It is now clear to us that we need to examine the species more closely. Your ship is equipped with an abduction beam, which you'll find in your cargo panel. Use this tool to collect a specimen and return it to us. Will do. Use the abduction beam found in the cargo panel to collect this creature for further research. Make sure you deploy the tool long enough until the creature is fully secured in the ship's cargo bay. Stopping the ray too soon before your cargo is secured may result in less than desirable circumstances for the victim, specimen. So this is our cargo panel. We come with an abduction beam. We need to take one. So I just press the number 1 because when you're in your cargo panel, that auto activates it. And yeah, we've just abducted a tree, so that's great. And as you can see, I let a couple of them drop. That's, yeah. Alright, so I need to get rid of 2 of these, so piss off and piss off. That's awesome. They just die there. And tree, you can go fuck yourself. Oh, tree just plants itself. Alright. Anyways, let's talk to command. Looks like you've collected the correct specimen. We'll need to drop it off inside one of our cities. Select the cargo you want to drop off in the cargo panel and drop it off in a city. Make sure you beam it safely to the surface or we'll need you to collect another specimen and clean up your mess. Got it. So, this is something that happened during the original recording, which is that, unfortunately, beaming an animal into the city is not as easy as it sounds. The problem being is that no matter which direction you point, it seems to just put it down wherever it wants to, so fuck off, dirigible investments. Let me see if I can get...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, let me see if I can get this into the city center. Oops. I just abducted a citizen and dropped him to his death. Okay. Maybe not. And I almost accidentally killed the Ferengi-Roo creature that was in my inventory, so... Okay, I managed to get it in that time. Great. Measurably fine work, Cadet. You've provided us with an excellent specimen to research. Probe twice, abduct once, I always say. So what do you want me to do next? Look at how awesome that fucking medallion looks on him. It's uncanny. So, what do you want me to do next? It appears that the specimen you collected was sick and is infected with a virus that is capable of spreading at an alarming rate. It can endanger our entire ecosystem. Of course, we want to handle this compassionately. We've equipped your spaceship with an extremely handy mini-laser. It has the precision you'll need to take out the infected creatures, while avoiding the healthy creatures. Okay, I'm in. Select the mini-laser in your weapons panel and aim it at the infected creatures. Be careful where you point that laser. It's capable of destroying buildings, vehicles, and other spaceships. Now go before the infection spreads further. Which introduces us to our weapons panel, where number 1 is always going to be your laser tool. So we're going to be doing a very merciful, very gentle kill certain things.
But still pacifist run over?
Well, it never was really a pacifist run. It was a resourceful run. But now, that does raise an interesting point, is that now, we do not have to worry about our behavior. There are no further stages to go on to here. I just destroyed...
Be gone, you beardless heathens!
I also just destroyed a bunch of other creatures there, but oh well.
Casualties of war.
Yep, but at this point, you've entered what I would like to actually consider the main game. Oh, hello. Whoa! He just shot at me.
He doesn't much care for you.
No, and he took out half my ship's health. So we've done enough to satisfy the mission parameters. Let me get way the fuck away from that guy. And open communication. Laudable job. You are the right stuff. You've earned your homeworld's respect and confidence. We want you to pilot this spaceship and lead our race forward into galactic exploration and glory. You've earned the badge and title of Captain. Our scientists have developed an interplanetary drive for your ship. You'll need to install it first, Captain. Sounds good, I'm ready.
So is the captain's badge like just a large version of that medallion?
You know, that's what it could be. Interplanetary drive, of course we have to buy it. Captain, get out your spandex suit. We're sending you on a space journey. We suspect we're not alone in this galaxy. We picked up some strange radio signals from planet Crancy's in orbit around our home star. We want you to investigate. I accept. We commend you, Captain. Mission control out. Bye.
I don't know, man. Spandex suits with, general steampunk feel we're going for here, I don't think that works.
Well, they could use leather. But anyways, congratulations, you've earned the badge and title of Captain. Now, it is also at this point that we can decide that we want to adjust our looks. And some new stuff has been added in the space stage that lets us change around our looks. So for instance, we've got new hats, we've got new face mask thingies, and we've got just general new stuff all around. So, I don't know. I mean, the beard is awesome. And I kind of like that, whole curls thing that we got going on the sides of the head there.
Let's modify the
What?
medallion, I think. Add some stuff onto there if we can.
Alrighty, so let's see. Where did the medallion sit in our whole plethora of things? I don't recall. Actually, no, it was over here. So here's the medallion. There's not really much to replace it with. We could put a propeller on our chest or something like
Can we
that.
add stuff onto the medallion itself, or does it not have any sort of like?
We can put a ponytail on it.
No, that's just silly.
Well, I do want to put the ponytail on the back of the Ferengi Ruse, so let me get that up there.
The back of the head? Yeah, okay.
Yep. And
Right.
now we can do certain things with the ponytail. We can make it curl upwards if we want. We can make it curl back downwards if we want. Change its positioning.
I think right about there.
Yeah, it's a nice jaunty angle, and we can swole it up if we want. Or just bring it down to normal, basic size. Let's just bring it down a little bit so that it doesn't clip into the back. He looks pleased.
Alright.
So, what do you think we should add on to the medallion? Because I think it kind of speaks for itself.
I thought I saw some wings back there a bit, like little sort of plated, let's see. Yeah, there. Think we can add those onto the sides of it?
It's not exactly easy positionable here.
We can't rotate it.
We'd have to be very, very flippin' careful. Shrink that down just a bit, I would say. And maybe tilt those up.
Okay.
And we can make it do this, or we can make it do this. How do you like that?
It looks alright. I think we're kind of at our limit of what we can add to this thing, though, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. We've also got to remember that we have to make room later on for special weapon and other type of thing upgrades. So let's just can the wings. They don't fit. They don't fit the plan. And we may have to get rid of some other stuff like these spur wheels there.
Yeah.
All this hair and everything like that covers up the evil eyes. Dude, how did we not let the evil eyes show through on this one?
We gotta show some class.
Well, I think that'll do for now, because as time goes on, as we complete more adventures, then we will be gaining things to put onto our guy. So let's just leave him as is. Okay, so that is the planning stage done. Let's go ahead and go out to space like they asked us to do. Now, first mission is always going to send you to a temperate world within your own system. Now, as you look at the way that the planets are rotating around, you may notice certain things. Planets that are closer to the sun have sort of a redder trail, which, oddly enough, our planet falls onto that red trail thing. I don't know how that works out. But the green ones are already at a decent enough temperature that you can very easily... you know what, let me heal. Oh, I can't do anything until that, because see, I lost half my ship health because of that fucking epic. But, you know, generally when you go into a star system, you will see the planets outlined in green are just kind of the right temperature, and maybe they'll need a little bit more or a little bit less atmosphere in order to make them habitable, but you don't have to do much to the temperature, which, you know, that it's easier to colonize planets that are floating in the green zone. Red zone just means that this planet is going to be hot plus whatever atmospheric condition problems it has, and blue means cold plus whatever atmospheric condition problems it has. Anyways, we are pointed to the planet Crances. Worth noting that the planet that they send you to in the system that does this particular quest, you can't ever really truly colonize that planet. It's not one that you can alter for any purposes. The only thing you could possibly do with it is make it into an animal sanctuary, which we'll discuss that much later on. We are nowhere near that point. So let's zoom in on this planet. Something is showing up on the ship's radar, and pardon me, I'm just kind of flicking back and forth between this and the OBS window just to see if, the mic mute thing is working. It is. Could use a little bit more indication of when it's actually active, so I may just lower... No, I'm just going to have to adjust the way that I size my screens. See, I play my games in 1600 by 900 because that fills up more of the screen, but it might be possibly something I need to start doing to scale it down to 1280 by 720 because, well, that's the resolution I'm recording in anyways. I like to have a bit larger, but I don't like full screen. I need to clear up some screen real estate here. Either that or get a second monitor.
I think so. That should be a good option for you.
I just don't have the desk space for a second monitor. It's a crashed spacecraft, and it's emitting a strange radio signal. Fly to it and use the scan tool to investigate the crash site. Alright. So our radar leads us to the crashed ship. Go into our main tools menu. I'm using the number 2 to select our scan tool, and let's scan this bastard. Aliens, but no signs of life. Looks like they drew some type of cryptic map before they died. Wait, the wreck has triggered a transfer beam. Some items are coming aboard. This can only go well, right?
Totally.
Oh yeah, no danger in the shit that's on the craft with all the bones around it. Say what you will, it's efficient transfer. Missiles in an interstellar drive, which seems to have an unknown star's coordinates programmed into it. The wreck's damage looks like it came from a fight. This ship must have been sent from some other planet to get help. Okay, so then, now we have missiles added on, and missiles are only really good for air-to-air combat, although they do work against turrets in cities, but they're not the most efficient thing to use in that situation. So now we have a small mission. There have been some map coordinates drawn in, and we need to go to these map coordinates. Let me see if my home base is going to let me heal yet here. Nope. The interstellar drive from the wreck is responding to a beacon from a nearby star that matches the coordinates in its memory. This must be the home planet. They may still be needing help. Okay, so let's go back to these people's home planet. Now, something to point out is that you see this ring around us here? Now, the ring, the arrow on it will always point towards galactic center. See? And something that I pointed out in the original recording, and I'll point it out again now. Every single star that you go to has a potential to have habitable planets around it, ones that you can terraform to make habitable. You can put colonies down on almost every single planet that you come across, with the exception of gas giants and ones that are kind of quest specific. You can't change the planet that you went to find that crashed ship, and you can't really do much with the planet we're about to go to, but every single star you see here, every single star that I can point to and get any sort of reading from, we can go to that. And if you scale out, you will see the entire galaxy is at our disposal. We can literally go to, colonize, plunk down ships and whatever, pluck down colonies, and just do every single planet here. Sometimes we'll have to kill some races to get rid of them. Sometimes we just do trading. We'll see. So let's go to the Eminilex system. And nice zippy speed that we get from our little bonus. If we take a look at our history meter, our bonus is a faster ship. Let's see here. Where did the faster ship? Yes, Speed Demon. This makes interstellar space travel zippier. So let's zoom in on the MNLX star system. And immediately we go to the one T2 habitable planet, which T2 is actually a pretty good score for a planet to have, but it doesn't have spice on it. And that's really what governs whether or not you can settle on a planet, is whether or not it has a spice reading. Like planet, Moon Gallus here is around Towny, the gas giant. You can't zoom in on that. It won't let you. Gas giants are too dangerous. But we could colonize its moon and colonize anything. Let's go into planet Fursa here.
Can you colonize the sun?
No. Thank you for asking. Something is showing up on the ship's radar. Ooh.
Well, everything seems in order here.
Yeah. Too late. These ruins must be what's left of the home colony of the aliens from the wreck. Scanning the ruins may reveal clues to what happened there. Ooh. So, we just float over Yon City, get our scanning tool ready, and let's see what the hell happened. The scan came up with nothing, but it seems to have triggered a response. Some activity is showing up on the radar. Oh noes. The scan must have triggered the colony's defenses. These drones don't look friendly. Wait, an incoming transmission. I should mention this is a ship that I designed so long ago that I don't know how it's still in my Sporepedia. I've deleted so much content since I originally made this ship that I have no idea how it's still in there. But it is. Warning. Grox intruders detected. All Grox intruders will be terminated. Grox? Initializing self-defense code Grox 999. All Grox intruders will be terminated. We are not Grox. Warning, all Grox intruders will be terminated. For the last time...
Execute Grox 999.
Go fuck yourself, Palpy. For the last time, we are not Grox. And so it's on. Now, I'm gonna pretty much do exactly what we did in the first attempt to record this episode, and I am going to kill these ships. You can choose just to fly away and be done with it, but you can actually do evasive maneuvers pretty handily here. If you just keep flying back away from them, they can't really catch up with you. So, just really all you gotta do when in an air battle is you choose your missiles, pick a target and hold down the mouse button. It will automatically keep firing on them and track them. Now, the thing is that if they were live enemies, at certain points they may try to actually run away. So you might have to chase some fuckers down, and your missiles may not be able to keep up with them. We're not going to try to get into too many space battles here.
Now, is that battle is obviously a tutorial for space battles there, so is it something you could not have escaped from anyways?
No.
Because there really is no purpose to it.
You can escape from it. You can just leave the planet, because here's the thing, space battles, they do occur. You can have two ships squaring off against each other in space, but it really comes down to it's completely autopilot. Your ship and their ship will just fire at each other. Sometimes they'll have multiple ships around you. It's when you go down to planet level that you actually have control of whatever weapons you're using. So, dogfighting, as it were, can only happen within the atmosphere. And now we go back to our home base. And our planet has something to say. Mission
Hey, we
accomplished.
just met these Grox folks. They're awful nice.
Well, no, that's the thing, is that the Grox are the ones that the drones were set to protect against.
Yeah. God, what was going for?
Right. I don't know exactly what you said then. What
Anyways.
exactly did you say? Anyways, mission accomplished. We knew we weren't alone in the galaxy. Traces of an extinct civilization, hostile security drones, and the Grox. It's obvious that we must continue our exploration of the galaxy and potentially prepare for hostilities. In order to do so, we'll need to set up colonies as bases of operation. Our scientists are already reverse engineering the interstellar drive to replicate its technology. We've also developed a SETI device for your ship. It will pick up the signals of other sentient life in the galaxy, indicated by radio signals over stars that you target. We need you at the helm of our space program, Captain. I am in. Yeah. We need to expand our empire and our wealth by building colonies on other planets for mining resources. We've drafted a few volunteers to be part of the Colony Incredipack, which we placed in your colonization bin. Our astronomers have been observing the heavens and have identified a hospitable planet, Iolarsales. Iolarsales? Well, that's
Luller sales?
yeah, no, that's a capital I. Anyways, how do I establish a colony, I must ask? Excellent. What?
I was gonna say, doesn't Luller sales kind of sound like something that you prefer you would name?
It does sound a bit like it. Pardon me, didn't want to capture the yawn on the video, and Rambler here got to hear every second of it.
Yep.
There should be a hotkey in Skype for mic mute, I think, so I can set that up later. Excellent! Placing a colony is easy. After flying to planet Luller Sales, select the colony tool that has been added to your colonization tool bin and place the colony on land, near a spice geyser. It will instantly unpack, creating a colony. No assembly required. You might want to make contact with the colony to make sure the citizens were packed in there, unpacked safely. One more thing before I go. Fucking let me repair. There we go. So, I've mentioned this in the past in other Spore videos, but your home world is the only place where you can repair and recharge your engines for free. If you happen to get stuck or have too low of a health and you try to repair or recharge on any other world, even ones that you've settled that are part of your empire, they will charge you for it. So, unfortunately, if you want a free heal, if you want a free recharge, you have to go back to the planet. You can see your health and your energy over here on this side. Energy is used for things like flight and a lot of weapons, and even some of the atmospheric tools to try and get the planets down to a proper temperature and humidity for putting down life. So, gotta watch that energy meter.
I was actually thinking before, the whole thing I said with the Groks. Wouldn't it actually be kind of a nice narrative thing is when he got back from that previous planet, the Groks actually are overtaking your world, and then your goal for this stage would be to drive them back, even eliminate them?
That would be a fun thing, but the problem is that they really leave the space stage open-ended. You can choose to completely ignore the Groks. There's even a chance that you can make friends with the Groks, believe it or not, because they are a species you can run into. Their planets basically center around like the center of the galaxy, so as you get closer to the middle of the galaxy, you'll find a lot more Groks homeworlds that are your enemies. And there are certain things that you gotta be aware of with the Groks, is that they do not take bribes, they do not have any sort of way to make peace with them unless... Well, we'll get to that. If we happen to meet the Groks, I'll be pointing it out, but the Groks are basically the hostile species of the galaxy. And your job is really to try and either avoid or defend against them. Now, you can also do other things, like if you make it to the galaxy center, which I've never done. I've never actually played this game to completion because, well, fucking look at the size of things. You just can't... It's difficult to get to the galaxy center, let's just say. But you have to wade through worlds and worlds and worlds of Groks, and they have hundreds of them. And so every single Groks world you pass will be someplace that's going to try and kill you, unless you manage to secretly make peace with them somehow. But the thing is that, well, we'll discuss more as it comes, but there are reputations that we have to keep in mind. As we discover other civilizations, things we do may make them angry or make others angrier toward us.
Sort of like the tribal stage?
A little bit, except, there's all-out planetary war and dogfights that settle it. But we have been sent to the Conias system. Now, hold on. Cutscene time. Planets in green orbit paths are easier to teleform, yeah, we discussed this. Now, they want us to claim planet Luller Sales. I'm not going to do that, because the thing about that is, unfortunately, red spice worlds, they're common as muck. You don't really get much out of them. I would much rather get a pink or a blue or a purple spice world. So, really, for right now, we just want to kind of go around the systems. Later on in the game, it happens a bit quicker, but if you hover over a planet long enough, or over a sun long enough, you can see what's in that system as far as the spice. We don't get it this early in the game, But would you look at that? A pink spice world in the green zone. Oh my god, that is almost too good to be true. It's a planet named Kagelis.
Is there more to the spice than its color?
What do you mean?
I just mean, like, is it simply, like, more, resourceful or just worth more than red spice in terms of actual value, or does this actually have, like, a sort of different function?
Well, spice is a sellable item. It's a sellable good. Let me just read the thing here. You have discovered a barren planet. Barren planets can sustain a limited colony, or you can improve its Terra score / T score and establish a flourishing spaceport for your empire. So here's the thing, and this will all appear in your cargo panel. You notice I have some red spice. These serve no actual real in-game functions, but reading the descriptions of some of them can be fun. I don't remember how you go about reading the descriptions of the spice, but essentially there are 6 colors of spice. There's red, yellow, green, blue, purple, and pink. Now, pink and purple spice is a bit rarer, a little bit more hard to come by. Red spice is common as muck. Yellow spice a little bit less so, and really they all have similar values. However, the scarcity of the spice can lend more value to it because you only actually add to your spore bucks pictured down here by selling spice or completing missions. That's another way to do it. But when you sell spice to a planet, if that planet has a greater need for spice, then they will pay a higher price for said spice. I've seen 70,000 spore bucks come off of just a single pile, and I just shot all of my spice out into space. Great.
Well, it's red spice. It was worthless. You're peppering the planet.
Well, I can always get it back, actually. There it is.
Okay, throw it off into the atmosphere with your tractor beam.
It'll still come back down. So, we found a planet, and it is not only a habitable... Well, it's not habitable, it has no life on it, but it's in the temperate zone, which means that the only thing we really need to do is to add more atmosphere to it in order to actually put down life, but we can drop a colony on it wherever we damn well please, because the colony will create its own little bubble of atmosphere and just sit there doing nothing until you can get the spice score up. Now, you can only place the city near a spice geysers. It doesn't really make a difference whether they are, whether there's 3 or more spice geysers in there. It doesn't matter, you only have to be close to one. So this looks like a good spot. I like to choose a spot that's kind of central in the map. The way that I build my colonies out, just works better that way, so let me go ahead and drop it right here. Now, one thing you'll notice about dropping a colony down is you see that there's terrain on the planet, there's mountains and valleys and all that, and when you drop the colony pack down, as such, it will actually change the landscape to fit a colony city.
Should we be at all concerned about all the planetfall here?
No.
Just saying, an awful lot of meteors. It's
No,
not really something you want on your weather report.
We're fine. See see if I can adjust the angle of my camera here. Close enough. You see the city has a shield around it, and that shield keeps breathable atmosphere in, and it keeps out all the meteor strikes. Now, as you gain more atmosphere, which you can do through terraforming and such later on, then, a planet with a thicker atmosphere, meteors are going to have a harder time reaching the ground, and they'll be a little bit more harmless. Plus, we'll be outfitting our cities with super orbital cannon lasers. So, don't worry about that. That stuff has nothing to do with anything. But as you can see, it leveled off the area where you put down the city. It's going to be interesting when we introduce water later on to things, because when you add atmosphere to the planet, it does actually put down water. But right now, where it sits, it's pretty level. When you add water to the planet, if the water level rises up below the level of the city, if it starts to push upwards, then the ground underneath the city will just raise. So it kind of makes it seem like there's an actual float underneath the city. Pretty cool. So let's check in. Ralph Fiolio. Kruzhny Levitt. Trabzablanova Flobnor. The military guys. Greetings, Captain. Planet Kagelis appears to be a fine place to start a colony. We look forward to serving you and our empire. Congratulations, colony of Kagelis. May our empire continue to grow and prosper. So as you can see here, if I want to recharge, I will pretty much have to pay the money. Now I've got red spice, but they're only buying it at a paltry 225 Spore bucks per unit, so I'm not going to bother selling it here. However, once I can actually get this colony's T-score up, this planet's T-score up, then I can actually have them start gathering pink spice, and that's going to be valuable AF when I send it back to the homeworld, or even if I encounter other races. You can put a maximum of 3 cities per planet. This is not counting your homeworld, which has, like, 10 cities on it. I mean, I've done it in the past where I've individually destroyed each city and then just put down 3. You notice that the layout here is a lot different than the layout that we had in the Civ stages, and there's actually sort of kind of a perfect way that I always put down the things to get the most out of it. So, all of our cities from now on are going to look like this. This is going to be their roadmap. This is going to be their plan. The cities on our homeworld look like they did at the end of the Civ stage, and unless we destroy them, they always shall. But any new colony pack that we put down is going to look like this. So it's nice to have some standardization. Anyhow.
Just a question, is it possible for other races to come in and start colonizing your planets as well?
Nope, and actually, I'm glad you brought that up. If you colonize a star system, unless these planets decide to come in and start making war on you and attacking your cities, then they cannot put down a colony on any planet in the same star system. And vice versa is true. If an alien species has a planet in a star system that they own, well, you can't put down a colony there either. You can't have colonies in the same star systems as other species. So you can either make peace with them and make them allies, which won't get you the colony. You can buy out their planet, which, that's something we're going to actually endeavor to do, which is going to take a lot longer. Or if you're very warlike, you can just completely nuke the entire planet and claim it for yourself.
Right, so more or less the same as the previous stage.
Kinda, sorta, yeah. The problem with doing it the religious way is that if you make allies with the planet, they get to retain their culture, their buildings, their everything, and it's not yours. It's just, you have a friend that will help you in a fight, which I never honestly need. I much prefer the warlike method, or even, since I've never done it before, we'll probably try the trading method, which, again, it kind of works like the Civ stage, where you have spaceships flying back and forth between your home colony and the colony that you're trying to get, and at a certain point you could just say, hey, I want to buy your colony, I want to buy out the system from you, then it becomes yours, and your people move in, and your species are there, so, that is a way that we can do things, and I think it does fit the trader approach. So, they have said that we have to go to this system and lay one down, but we actually get credit for the mission no matter where we put down the colony and credit pack. Now, unfortunately, this distance is too far to travel. This is outside of the circle, our Ferengiru homeworld, so we've got to make a quick hop before getting back to Earth. As you go on, and this is actually something that we'll discuss next episode probably, is that you need to get bigger galactic drives, better galactic drives, before you can expand the circle. Like right now, this is a very short distance we're able to hop, but as time goes on, there are another 5 levels of galactic warp drive that, if you can get them installed, you can travel further. And there's only mainly one way to get those galactic warp drives, and that's to earn the Traveler Badge, and we'll discuss the best way to earn the Traveler Badge later on. I just want to try and get a little bit of progress here. You have collected spice. Spice is a valued commodity. Collect it from your colonies and homeworld each time you visit them. So yes, every time you fly to a planet that produces spice on your behalf, you will gather the spice up from them automatically. It will appear in your inventory. Should note, maxes out at 99, so if a planet has more spice than you have space for, well, that's it, you're maxed out on spice. That being said, if you've got 99 of any spice, you can pretty much sell that and make a killing. So what do you got to say to me, Ferengi Homeworld? Once again, excellent work, Captain. Our empire will one day dominate the galaxy. We'll be counting on you to visit this colony frequently to collect the spice it produces. Our scientists are busy researching new technologies to improve the Terra scores of planets, which will one day help to improve conditions on our new colony planet. In the meantime, we have more pressing matters to attend to. Are you ready to continue? I don't know, Rambler, are we ready to continue? I'm in.
Sure, why not?
Let's do it. Captain, we have intercepted transmissions that we believe are coming from other advanced beings in the galaxy. We need you to investigate and attempt to establish first contact. Use the SETI tool equipped on your ship to find them. Will you accept this most important mission? Of course, how will I speak to them? Your short-range communicator is equipped with a universal translator that will aid in communicating with any alien races you might encounter. You'll need to travel within their solar system to communicate with them. Great, where do I find them? We haven't been able to pinpoint the exact location of these transmissions, so you will need to explore a bit. After reaching interstellar space, target stars that trigger a response from your SETI tool. Radio lines and audio signals are a clear indication. How will I know when to come back? Spaceflight will cause wear and tear on your ship. Return home for repairing and recharging your ship when needed, or to check in with mission control on other space program assignments. Think I got it. We will await your report once you have established contact with the aliens. Good luck in your search. Understood, bye. Okay, so this is the part that can be a little bit aggravating early game, is that if you don't have a far enough warp drive, you can have trouble getting to an alien species inhabited planet. So how do we find an alien species inhabited planet? Just point to stars. Keep pointing to them until you find one that puts out a radio signal. Nope, nope, nope. Wow. There are no alien species nearby. Zoom out a bit. They're supposed to put one. They generally will put... There we go. On the Agene 2 star system. Thank you for that. In the Agene 2 star system, we have found someone. So we have to figure out a way to kind of hop our way to that planet. Thankfully, we have. So, boom. Just look at our Ferengi blinger. Isn't it awesome?
I think so.
Yes. Your SETI devices revealed strange radio signals emitting from this star. Fly in and explore. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to make contact for the very first time. And that is another of my ship designs. Somehow it's still there. Drake's equation was right. A living alien race. We are not alone. It looks like they have sent an envoy to greet you. Perhaps you should talk to them. Open your communications panel. So, we are floating over an alien world, and it looks like immediately, we distrust strangers, is basically what they said. So, thing is, these species that you're going to run into, these other alien races that have reached the space stage on their own, they're going to have different temperaments. We may meet other traders, we may meet scientist species. Basically, any card, any trader or final class you can be as in the space stage, you will find represented among the cosmos. So let's see who these people are. Oh, god damn it, they're Spode lovers. Yeah. So, I think this particular class is called the Zealot. We'll ask about them. But for right now, let's hear. Unless you accept the word of Spode, we are not destined to walk in harmony. So, yeah, Zealots. I am from the Ferengi. I come in peace. Depending on how we answer this one here, this could go a couple of different ways, but we want to have a decent relationship with this planet, so I come in peace. The only true peace is the peace that Spode gives to his believers. It is an honor. Speak of what thou dost desire, and the followers of Spode will listen. So right now, our relationship with this species is just a little bit, just kind of shy of neutral here. We're not quite into the orange distrust. They will probably attack us, but they're not exactly our friends yet. And the way that we become friends with them, that we gain a better relationship with them, is we go on missions for them. Let's do a little diplomacy, though. We welcome you in the name of Spode. Can we be of assistance? So, here's how we find out what exactly we're dealing with here. I'd like to know about your race. We, the Ashona's Empire, follow the one true philosophy of faith. Woe be to those who do not share our beliefs in the teachings of Spode, for they are wrong in the face of all that is right. If you were to repent now and admit your wrongness, we, the Ashonas Empire, may take mercy upon you and help you to see the way of the rightness. I'm not exactly sure if they're zealots, because there's a couple different, spode lovers, I like to call them, couple different religious races that are not races, but different classes, so to speak, that, could go any way. Thanks, that's fascinating. Thank you for sharing.
So there's different levels of spode, is what you're saying.
Some of them are going to be pretty religious. Some of them may be a little bit more angry and attacky. But, just in general, you can get reason with people. You can start conversations and you can build up your relationship and you can become proper ally friends with them. Speak of what, blah, blah, blah. So, I think this is actually a good place to cut it. We made contact, and that's great for our species. And in the next episode, we'll start to explore the space stage a little bit more. So,
and perhaps explore the levels of spoditology?
No, we won't be doing that.
Shucks.
That's not our philosophy, bro. We're traders. We took that path. Yeah. So, anyways, I want to thank you all very much for watching. Once again, my name is Alex, also known as Solemnus Dracone. With me has been Rambler81. Goodbye, Rambler.
Good night, everybody.
See yas.